Alright, today we're going to do us some red twig dogwoods. I know they don't look red now, but in the winter time when all the leaves are gone, you know, the stems will be red on it. That actually makes for some pretty color. This is another new one that I ain't been able to do because the plant never got big enough for me to take cuttings off of, but you know, I'm going to go with something about like that. You know, just below a node. You know, I'll go through here and just keep chopping them down. See, he's already starting to branch up pretty good, so take that one off, that one off. These ones I'll go with something about like that. And the top, he's a little flimsy, but we're gonna give him a shot. We'll take these big ones off. Take that one off. You know, get something about like that. You know, I'll put them under the mist. They should be just fine. And like I said, just want to cut just below one of them nodes. You know what I'm saying? He got a big old leaf, so you know, you just want to, you don't need it all. That's where they'll lose their moisture through that leaf, so kind of keeping it down some. So, you know, he's already starting to like branch, so take that one. These are a little flimsy, but we're going to give them a shot. Said I'm new to these, so we'll see what we end up with. I'll take one of them big leaves off. I'll get down to something about like that. And, you know, you never know until you try. Just blow a node. Take some of these off. Just keep chopping them down. Break them off. Sometimes I like to leave them little, if I got the little buds on them like that right there, because sometimes they'll shoot new shoots from the ground. Get down to that right there. This one, well, he's kind of flimsy at the top. You don't want that real flimsy. You want to where it starts getting a little. Break them off. Take most of these leaves off because I got little ones in here, just enough to collect some light. Let's see here. Now something like this. I'll cut him here. I'll cut him just above that node. I'll peel these off. Cut this below node and downsize the leaf material. I'll get down to something like that and we'll see what he does. You know, up under the mist, we'll never know. Pull these off. Just got to keep trying at it, trial and error. Like this one, he's a little flimsy, but we'll give him a shot just so I can make sure a tray gets filled. If it dies, it dies. He ain't out nothing but a little bit of time. You know, so he's kind of small, but we're going to see. There again, he's kind of flimsy. We'll pluck them off. He's got kind of a little bloom looking. I'll cut him down. Just keep reducing them. You know, I always try working as fast as I can, but you know, try not to cut my finger or nothing off. You know, get down to something like that. Sometimes I'll leave it, even though the leaves are gone. You might shoot branches there. I just strip the bottom. Some blooms from 4 o'clocks. Strip that one, strip that one, strip that one. Take half that one off, take that off. You know, just, I've already about took a tray full. Gotta keep, at it. Never say you can't. You just gotta try. I might do these and every one of them fail. I might get every one to live. See, you got a lot of these, so we'll take that one off. I just learned trial and error. Like I said, there's times I take things and I take 100 of them and only, 5 live. It's disappointing, but it's just part of the way it goes. It's never perfect. There might be times, some things you take 100 of, and you're like, well, ain't none of them gonna really do anything. Next thing you know, you got, 92 of them. And you're like, and try keeping up with, as you go, you'll learn some things sell better than others, so you concentrate more on those. Then I have it a lot to where, this year, for instance, let's say dapple willows. Last couple of years, I ain't really sold none. This year, I sold almost every one I had. 45 or 50 of them. And last year you may have sold 5. It just takes that right person, that's looking for something, and they come by 5, 6, 10. Get my trusty little tray here. It's already, filled up, holes poked, and we'll just go through here. I'll stick them in my little liquid and just stuff them down in there and just start, sticking them in there. Hey, but remember, hit that like, subscribe, follow. You never know, you might find something useful. I'll keep an update on everything under the mist system. I've been filling her up. Just keep, I just keep at it, as many as I can. Most time it's on the weekends, so I try prepping my trays at night, filling them full of dirt, setting them under the mist, so they're good and moist and ready in the morning, because it takes me about almost as long to fill a tray with dirt than it does to do the cuttings. So I try doing it before it gets hot. I try to take my cuttings before the sun heats the plants. You want them nice and hydrated. The happier that the material you're taking for cuttings is, the better chances you got for survival. Like some of my stuff's getting ready to go in the sun, so I'll be done with those. I think I got like 5 more trays I can do that are prepped. I just stay at it. You see how it's going, Like I said, always remember, make tags. Make sure they're, tagged. Then this is, what I've got. I've got it filled up. I've got 12 trays in there now. Then, when I got like big stuff, I just stuff a bunch of them in there. And see, there's some silver dollars. I just stuck all the big. Sometimes they root. You just got to stay at it. Look at them big old branches. Some of them up to a ½ inch thick or thicker. You just got to keep at it. Taking as many as you can. See, I've got prep trays laying here. But hit that like, subscribe, follow. We'll see what these do. I'll show you when they start rooting. What's rooting, what rooted fast. I know the azaleas are going to take a while. But hey, hit that like, subscribe, follow.